Welcome to Peace Mind, the home of fascinating book summaries, powerful ideas, and life-changing lessons. Today, we are exploring Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, one of the most influential philosophy books ever written. This book was never originally meant for the public. It was a private journal written by a Roman emperor trying to understand life, discipline, suffering, emotions, and the human mind. And despite being written nearly 2,000 years ago, its wisdom still feels incredibly relevant today because human nature has not changed. People still struggle with stress, anger, fear, distraction, ego, and uncertainty. Meditations offers a calm and powerful philosophy for handling life with clarity, discipline, and inner peace. In this summary, you'll discover the core ideas of Stoic philosophy, why suffering often comes from perception, how to control emotions and reactions, why discipline creates freedom, and how accepting reality can create inner peace. So sit back, relax, and let's begin. The philosophy of Stoicism. Marcus Aurelius followed Stoicism, a philosophy focused on self-control, wisdom, discipline, and emotional resilience. The Stoics believed one of the most important truths in life is this: some things are under our control, and some things are not. People cannot control the weather, other people, death, the past, external events. But people can control their actions, their mindset, their responses, their character. According to Marcus Aurelius, suffering often increases when humans obsess over things outside their control. Peace appears when attention returns inward, to behavior, character, and perspective. The power of perspective. One of the strongest lessons in meditations is that perception shapes experience. Events themselves are often neutral, but human interpretation creates emotional suffering. For example, two people can experience the same situation completely differently. One collapses emotionally, the other remains calm and adapts. The difference is perspective. Marcus Aurelius repeatedly reminds himself that external events are temporary and that emotional reactions often come from judgment, not reality itself. This creates an important idea. Humans may not control life completely, but they can control how they interpret life. Discipline and self-control. Marcus Aurelius believed discipline creates freedom. Without discipline, people become controlled by emotions, desires, distractions, and impulses. The Stoics valued self-control, patience, rational thinking, responsibility, simplicity. Marcus constantly reminded himself to avoid laziness and comfort addiction. He believed humans were designed to contribute, grow, and act with purpose. This philosophy feels especially relevant today. Modern life constantly encourages distraction and instant gratification, but discipline strengthens character, and strong character creates stability. Accepting reality. One of the central themes in the book is acceptance. Marcus Aurelius repeatedly reminds himself to accept reality instead of fighting it emotionally. Life includes pain, loss, uncertainty, failure, death. Trying to avoid all suffering is impossible. The Stoics believed peace comes from accepting life as it is instead of constantly demanding that reality become different. Acceptance does not mean weakness, it means clarity. Once reality is accepted fully, intelligent action becomes possible. Resistance creates emotional chaos. Acceptance creates calmness, the temporary nature of life. Marcus Aurelius constantly reflects on mortality, not in a depressing way, but in a way that creates urgency and perspective. Life is temporary, fame disappears, money disappears, power disappears. Eventually, every human being dies. This awareness helped Marcus focus on what truly matters: character, wisdom, integrity, presence. The Stoics believed remembering death helps humans stop wasting time on meaningless distractions and ego-driven behavior. Mortality gives life meaning because time is limited. The danger of ego, Marcus Aurelius warns repeatedly about ego. Humans naturally seek approval, status, recognition, validation. But depending too heavily on external approval creates emotional instability. The opinions of others constantly change. Marcus reminds himself not to become controlled by praise or criticism, because true strength comes from internal character, not public validation. This lesson feels especially powerful in modern social media culture, where many people become emotionally dependent on attention and approval. Controlling emotions. Stoicism does not teach emotional suppression. It teaches emotional mastery. Marcus Aurelius understood that anger, fear, jealousy, and frustration are natural human experiences, but reacting impulsively creates suffering. The Stoics believed humans should pause before reacting emotionally, observe thoughts calmly, and respond rationally instead of automatically. This creates inner stability. People who cannot control emotions often become controlled by circumstances. But emotional discipline creates freedom. Focus on the present moment. Marcus Aurelius frequently reminds himself to stay focused on the present. The past cannot be changed. The future remains uncertain, but the present moment is still available. Humans waste enormous energy regretting the past or fearing the future. Meanwhile, life continues disappearing moment by moment. The Stoics believe presence creates peace. When attention returns to the current moment, mental suffering decreases. This idea strongly connects with modern mindfulness practices, human nature, and forgiveness. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminds himself that humans are imperfect. People lie, complain, act selfishly, become emotional. But instead of becoming consumed by anger, Marcus encourages understanding human nature realistically. He believed people often act poorly because of ignorance, fear, or weakness. This perspective creates patience, and patience creates peace. The Stoics believe carrying hatred damages the person holding it more than anyone else. Simplicity and inner peace. Marcus Aurelius valued simplicity deeply. He believed many people complicate life unnecessarily through endless desire and comparison. Wanting more constantly creates dissatisfaction. The Stoics encourage focusing on essentials: wisdom, character, meaningful action. True peace comes less from external luxury and more from internal balance. The importance of character. For Marcus Aurelius, character mattered more than success. Anyone can become wealthy or powerful, but not everyone develops wisdom, humility, discipline, and integrity. The Stoics believed external achievements mean little without inner virtue. This is why Marcus constantly examined his own thoughts and behavior. He treated philosophy as daily practice, not abstract theory. Adversity creates strength. Stoicism teaches that obstacles can become opportunities for growth. Difficulty develops resilience. Pain develops wisdom. Challenges reveal character. Marcus Aurelius believed humans often grow strongest through adversity. Comfort alone rarely creates strength. This philosophy later inspired many modern self-improvement movements, including books like The Obstacle is the Way. The core idea remains timeless. The obstacle itself can become the path forward. The modern attention crisis. Meditations feel surprisingly modern because many of its lessons apply perfectly to today's world. People constantly battle distraction, notifications, comparison, social media, endless stimulation. The human mind rarely rests. Marcus Aurelius repeatedly reminds himself to protect attention carefully because attention shapes life. Whatever controls attention eventually shapes thoughts, emotions, and behavior. Inner peace versus external success. One of the deepest messages in meditations is that external success alone cannot create peace. Humans often chase money, status, recognition, power, believing these things will create fulfillment. But Marcus Aurelius argues that peace comes primarily from internal alignment. Living with integrity, acting wisely, accepting reality calmly, and controlling one's own mind. Without inner peace, external success often feels empty. Modern relevance. Despite being written thousands of years ago, Meditations remains deeply relevant today because modern humans still struggle with the same emotional challenges: fear, stress, anger, ego, distraction, anxiety. Marcus Aurelius reminds readers that true strength is internal. The ability to remain calm during chaos, the ability to act wisely despite difficulty, the ability to maintain integrity regardless of circumstances. These qualities remain timeless. Final lessons. At its core, Meditations is a guide for mastering the mind and living with wisdom. It teaches readers to control reactions instead of external events, accept uncertainty calmly, focus on the present moment, develop discipline and character, avoid ego and endless comparison, and seek peace internally instead of externally. Perhaps the most important lesson is this: you may not control what happens in life, but you always control who you choose to become. Conclusion. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this summary of Meditations, make sure to like the video, subscribe to Peace Mind, and turn on notifications for more fascinating book summaries and powerful life lessons. And remember, external chaos will always exist, but inner peace becomes possible when you learn to control your mind instead of letting your mind control you. See you in the next video. Peace.